Hey, doing great. Welcome to the Pine Point Sunday Morning Show, guys. I'm doing great, Zach. How about yourself?
Well, I wish we had a little bit better weather. This is a little
Well, is it raining there?
not right now for now.
Well, see, there you go. The weather's already gotten better than what you thought just 2 seconds ago.
Well, I don't know, Bob. It's just all these thunderstorms. The dog goes nuts.
Yeah, yeah. We had a few thunderstorms last night, yesterday afternoon, I guess it was. So yeah, I had a few rolling through. I know dogs really kind of take that difficult a lot of times. Certain breeds, especially. It seems like they get a little more nervous during the thunderstorms. I know Fozzie's one that gets a little agitated sometimes.
I think I have a. I wonder if it's more or less hunting dogs with hearings much more elevated.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You'd think with a hunting dog they'd be used to to the loud cracks and stuff of the gun firing possibly, but
Well, Fozzie was never around that, so
never around that, right? Obviously, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, most he's been
uh,
around is fireworks, and he doesn't like those either.
doesn't
Same.
like those either. No,
No.
no. I know even when we put the drone up in the air, he doesn't really care for that.
Oh my word. He goes nuts. He's like,
Yeah, yeah,
what's that? Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
What's that
That's not
exactly?
supposed to go like that. What's it doing?
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I put mine up and my cats see it, they kind of they look at it almost like they want to attack it, but yet they don't want to get too close.
Well, they think it's a bird, then they're like, is it a bird? No, it's
Right,
not.
right. Yeah, I stop moving and they start getting all antsy.
Well, the drones do throw off that high pitched noise too.
Yeah, yeah, it's got
So
that whirling sound, so it certainly is a little bit disheartening at first for some folks. But yeah, hey, I think it's going to be an okay day to day. It's supposed to be spotty sunshine back and forth. So hey, we'll take it. It could be a total washout. It could be you know total thunderstorms all day long. So we'll take the spotty sunshine, right?
it is what it is. What are you gonna do, right?
That's right. That's right. Start of the week's supposed to be great, so go figure when you get back to work, right? Well, when
Well,
most people
don't get
get
me
back to
wrong.
work. Actually, we work through the weekends
Oh, I
most
know.
of
I've been going nonstop every day. Yeah. Well, yesterday was a little bit slower than the days before, but
yeah.
yeesh.
Yeah, it has been kind of busy, I will say, over the last couple months, really. It's really picked up nicely. Coming out of the springtime market, coming into the summertime, we're definitely seeing the increase that we usually see in summertime.
Hmm.
But I think that's corresponding to a lot with getting more inventory into the market, which we were talking about last week. I think that's really helping spur things along a bit. But there's always that other side of the picture as well. I don't know about you, Zach, but I've been hearing little stories here and there in the news lately about the possibility of a real estate market crash.
Oh God,
Uh,
Chicken Little. Here we go.
yeah, and I think we hear that a lot whenever things are going great. Things are just plugging along nicely. You get those kinds of stories coming along, and the nice thing about it is that, spoiler alert, I don't think there's going to be a crash.
No.
And I think the experts all kind of talk about that same thing as well. But so yeah, let's talk about your thoughts on that, Zach.
Like I said, there's nothing drastic going on, and I guess the dilemma is with as we talk about almost every week, with what's going on in the state of Maine. We don't know. The rest of the country is a whole nother animal. I get it. There's some areas out there across the country that are having those feelings that things are slowing down, things are coming down, or things are going to crash. But again, the dilemma we're having in the state of Maine is just lack of housing. Still, we can't build enough.
Right. Yeah, and I think you're right, Zach. I think from market to market, things are obviously a little different, and that's always true. I mean, obviously, we see things in Maine. A lot of times we talk about being 20 years behind everybody else in the country. And as far as real estate, we're not quite that far behind, but certainly a
No,
little bit
actually,
further behind than some of the rest of the country a lot of times.
I know it has nothing to do with the consumer, but believe it or not, the actual Maine Association of Realtors and Realtors in Maine have been ahead of the curve across the country for a long time, actually. It's
Absolutely.
one thing in Maine we are ahead of. It's funny because in other states like Florida, there's multiple MLSs. So you actually have to look in 2 different areas for all your listings.
Or more in some areas.
Yep. In the state of Maine, you have one primary one. I know there's a couple non-realtor agents in the state of Maine that have they do their own thing on something else. But again, the trouble with that is that for a consumer to work with somebody that isn't connected to the main MLS, is you're not getting the publicity that you would get anywhere else.
Right, right. Yeah. So I guess bottom line though is that most economists are predicting that prices are going to continue to go ahead and go up, just a lot slower than they have been over the last few years. I think the average was at about 3.4% increase is what they were kind of those predictors were averaged out to. The optimists were up about 5%, pessimists down about 1.3%. So that averaged about 3.4%. So either way, though, even on the low end, even if it's going up at that 1.3, 1.4%, it's still an increase. It's not going to be a crash, guys.
Well, no. The dilemma is we don't have anything. The dilemma is everybody compares these crashes to situations that at this point can't happen. The 2008 crash, for example, 2005, that had to do with a lot of bad lending. Lenders were giving bad loans. They were giving loans to say 70% DTI, or somebody that doesn't even have a job. Right. Well, I think take that back. I remember
you're right about that.
I think you had to have a job. You just had to have a pay stub.
You actually there were no income verification loans being done back then. Yeah, no income verification loans being done back then. It was crazy. I actually was a mortgage loan originator back in those times, and honestly, that crash at that time is one of the things that kind of got me out of the loan part of the business for a number of years. Because I mean, just literally everything, the bottom just came right out of that thing. But a lot of it had to do with the crazy lending practices that were going on at that time, which we're not seeing. A lot of that stuff's been regulated, so that will never happen again. But one of the other topics that you and I were talking about, Zach, was and kind of funny because sometimes when I'm talking with friends and family. Well, for a little bit anyway.
I didn't know we were talking.
Oh, okay. Well, we were trying to help educate.
Okay, all right.
But no, you and I were talking before the show a little bit. And I always find it funny when I engage in conversations with friends and family. They see that that I'm out doing showings a lot and talking with people in that sense. And if you ask people, a lot of people think that as a realtor, what we do basically is open the door, show the property, and that's pretty much about it. I don't know if you find that same type of thing. Or, we're on the phone a lot. We do that a lot too. But you find that same thing?
Yeah. I still actually that happened last year. I was trying to. We've educated as much as we can. We actually lost a buyer over that because they ultimately thought that's all we were there for, is to find them a house, and that's it. The fortunate part is a lot of people don't realize, and it's funny. Well, the difference is we're in it, and they're not in it. They can only see what's from the outside.
Exactly.
But it's funny. My DB a long time ago kind of told me that I'd say every 5 years in real estate, it drastically changes. So if you go back before the MLS was live on the internet, that's when agents really found houses. Don't get me wrong. I have found houses for people, and it is an amazing feeling when you can actually find the house, and it's not something that they're picking out of a search you're sending them, or the one they're calling you from Zillow or like that. It's an amazing feeling when you found that house. It happens a little bit here and there. Don't get me wrong, and that's what we're there for while you're shopping, is to kind of observe, take in what you're looking for, and try to guide you to that right property. But we're there for a lot bigger reasons than just finding a house.
Absolutely, and I think you found an article or blog that actually outlines some of those things. I think it was what 179
Yeah,
different things that they indicated that we as realtors in most transactions that we do each day do and help our clients through.
yep, for sure. Let's pull that up, Bob. How about that? Or do you want to hide it still?
No, we should probably pull it up. I
Are
would
you
agree.
sure? I don't want to give away our secret, you know.
Well, no, actually, I think it's a great idea. It's called transparency.
Well, let's all right. So the first one says that all buyers must buy the agent a steak dinner.
For some reason, I don't think I
Oh,
read that one.
Okay. And the second lunch of the month must be from a Thai place for Zach. Oh, I think somebody written this for me.
Zach, I think really you probably should pull it up on the screen so we can read it along with you.
Oh, come on. Come on. I'm trying here. All right, here we go. All right, so I believe this article has a mix, so it's kind of mixed between listing and buyer side. This is just pre-listing activities. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I want to be upfront. Some of these might not go to every transaction, but this is just a list of random stuff that we could be doing besides painting the house, putting up railings, removing trash, moving somebody out of their house. I've done that in the past month.
So, yeah.
Pre-listing activity. Make an appointment with seller make appointments with seller for listing presentation. So sitting down with a client, send seller written or email confirmation of listing appointment, review pre-appointment questions, research all comparable currently listed properties, research sales activities for local MLS broker marketplaces and public record databases. That's something we show you every once a month, every month on the show.
Yeah, and something that we go through, on a daily basis to know what's going on in the market, what new properties are coming on, what properties may have expired that we might want to look at for a client that maybe they missed. Or
I guess I feel like the more we've been talking about this for a while on the back end, and one of the stories you always hear is about a contractor and how a contractor goes to a house and a consumer says, well, I don't want to pay that. Can you just show me how? And the contractor is, yeah, I can show you on the weekends. And then he wants his tools and he says, well, I guess he just ends up hiring the contractor because he doesn't have time to learn it and he doesn't have time to buy the tools or the money to buy the tools.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's the same thing with an agent. The only difference is our tools are not tangible. They're up here.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from years of experience, software, things we do. But keeping going, so research every day is the market, download and review property tax roll assessor information. This is just making sure that when you're looking at the property, if it's going to be your second home, the person you're buying off of the primary home, they had a homestead exemption or VA, a veteran exemption. So your taxes wouldn't be that low once everything got caught up with the town. So that's what we'd want to be able to inform you as a consumer, saying, okay, your taxes are going to go up about $500 a year just because on notice for the current seller, they had some tax deductions. Obtain copy of subdivision plot plan complex. This is interesting, actually. I found when I'm doing my research, I find it really interesting when we find the plot plan subdivision from like 1900 and 1910. It's always fascinating. Research properties ownership and deed type, making sure that the property is actually owned by the seller, making sure that we're actually talking with the person that has the power at B to do anything. Verify legal description, research properties land use, coding and deed restrictions, research properties current use and zoning, verify legal names and owners in counties, public property records, prepare listing presentation package with above materials, perform exterior curb appeal assessment of subject property, compile a formal file on property, confirm current public school and explain impact on schools on market value. That shouldn't be in there.
No, it's
I
not.
don't know why that's in there, and that's from realtors actually. So I'm not sure why this is in the article, but we legally can't talk about schools. That is an opinion. Everybody has an opinion, and that's something we can't talk about. That's totally up to the consumer to do their research. We can kind of direct to a site, but again, it's their knowledge, not our opinion.
We can provide resources for the data.
Yeah.
But you have to analyze it.
Yes. Review listing appointment checklist, ensure the steps of the actions are completed. Review obsolete property rehabilitation act report from township for permitted records. Not sure what that is, but oh well. Add client to your database.
And this is all just the pre-listing,
right?
So this is just before we even sit down and speak with a customer. This is all part of the research necessary to go ahead and make sure that we have all the proper information to sell your house, but also the proper information so that the person buying the house has all the information that they need to make a reasonable decision.
Yep. And then listing appointment presentation. Let's see. Give seller an overview of current market conditions. That tour property, review agent and company's credentials and accomplishments in the market. Present company's profile and position in the marketplace. Present preliminary CMA to seller, including blah, blah, blah. See, there's a lot of stuff here. I'm not going to go down through it. So what I'll do is actually I'm actually going to copy this and put this in the comments for you guys to follow along if you want to check it out.
Yeah, it's a great resource of things to understand what we as a realtor actually do for you as a client, whether you're selling your home or whether you're buying a home.
Let's see.
All really important things.
Yeah. Sorry, Bob.
Oh yeah, no, you're perfectly fine. So I guess the crux of all this is that we're not just that pretty face opening the door for you. Mm-hmm. Once we open that door and you let us know that that's the home you'd like to make your own, or you invite us in your home and you make that decision that you'd like to list your home, that's where our work, well, don't get me wrong, our work has already begun prior to that, as you've just seen in the pre-listing appointment stuff. But this is really where we really start to get to work at that point, when, once you open the door or let us know that you want to open the door to actually owning that home.
So yeah, just between listing, pre-listing and then listing appointment presentation, there's 108 different things that we could be doing.
Yeah.
And then down to offers.
Huge.
That's a whole nother. And offer, especially when you have a property that gets a lot of offers, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of juggling. It's a lot of, and then there's always that question about talking to the seller about where do we stop? Mm-hmm. Because there's always, you have to make those phone calls. I'm sorry, your buyer did not get the property. Those are hard calls.
And they're hard to receive.
Oh yeah, too. No, it goes both ways. But respectably, we are pretty used to it. Don't get me wrong, and it's just something that we do, and we always say, hopefully next time we can work together.
Yep.
Like I said, there are a ton of steps that come between every step of the stage, and honestly, every deal we have no idea what we're going to be doing. You just never know.
I guess that's one of the beauties of it in a way, Zach, is that it is different all the time.
Contracts, like I said, inspections. Don't get me wrong, the inspector does a lot of this, but where they're sitting, analyzing, kind of giving you the plus and minuses of what we can ask the seller for. There's all kinds of things. Even on the seller side, is talking to the seller and kind of weighing out what's going to stick with the property, regardless if the buyer stays or not. How are we going to overcome something? And then the biggest dilemma is when something's discovered that there's not enough money up front to fix it. So coming up with a game plan so that we can still make your property marketable to a buyer, whether it's adjusting price or finding a creative way to get the actual item taken care of.
See if we maybe can get a contractor in there that can get the work done. Work out the financing of it through the course of it.
Because it's actually one of the things I was talking to my buyer about the other day. I said, when we're looking at properties, one of the biggest things I run into with buyers, not just sellers too, but buyers more, they're like, well, is this house financeable? Can you put a VA loan on this one? Can you do an FHA loan on this one? I tell my buyers, like, don't worry about that. You focus on the house and what you're most worried about. I'll worry about the financing situation. Every house I tour, I don't know about you, Bob, I'm always looking for certain things. And then, trying to think what would an appraiser pick up on? What's an appraiser going to see? What's an appraiser not going to see? Because that's your inspection. That's your loan inspection. A lot of people are like, oh, we have to have an inspection. You have to have an appraisal.
Correct. Yeah, big difference between an inspection and an appraisal. Your inspection protects you as the potential home buyer. The appraisal basically protects the bank to make sure that the value.
Yeah, so this article is literally just for listings, really, for the most part.
Yeah. So this one is just.
I believe it's. Well, no, it kind of goes into both.
Oh yeah, of course, the inspections would be the buyer's side.
But at the end of the day, that, like I said, we just as an agent, we do all sorts of things. Like I said, it's really just trying to make your situation as smooth as possible. As I found out early on, if anybody makes you a promise in real estate, you better walk away. There are no promises in real estate.
Well, explain what you mean by that, Zach.
So just because an offer looks good doesn't mean they're going to accept it. Just because you have a great budget doesn't mean you're going to find the perfect house. Just because everything starts off smooth and everybody's happy doesn't mean somebody's not going to be mad at the end of the day. Like I said, there are no promises. If you get promises, I promise it's going to be a seamless situation.
No, we can only make it as seamless as we possibly can, and put out the flyers that present themselves along the way.
How I've turned my verbiage on that is because I remember my first year I used to say that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kicking myself now. People imagine, well, you promised me it was going to be seamless. I'm like, well, I couldn't have predicted that one. So my spiel has changed drastically since then. My spiel is more or less, I'm going to make this as painless as possible, but buying a house is stressful. And a lot of times it's not what's happening. It's more or less us putting more stress on ourselves, overthinking things. That is one of the biggest things I find that go on during a transaction.
Well, there's very few things that can't be fixed. And I guess that's the bottom line of it. People think, oh man, it can't be fixed, or it's going to be impossible to fix. There's nothing virtually almost anything, nothing that can't be fixed. There's usually a solution to most any problem that we come up against. It's just a matter of being patient, taking the time to be creative, and getting other people that might have a little bit more creative mind than yourself involved at times.
That's what we do. And like I said, one of the things we do when issues come up, we try to find sources and to find solutions. And one of the things we do, this is our job. And one of the things that you don't have to do is take time off work to do that. We can try to put together as much as possible. Don't get me wrong, we still need you to make that ultimate decision and cut the check most of the time, but that's where we step in and try to find the best deal for you, the best situation, to make it as painless as possible to get you to that destination where you want to be. So
Nope, absolutely right.
But like I said, I put the article in the comments if anybody wants to check it out. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of stuff in there that we don't do every time. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, and that's not even the end of it. There's more than that.
No, that's probably not even a fully corresponding list as to everything that we do.
That's not talking about the counseling phone calls, the sitting there just listening to problems, the chit chat about this.
Yeah, I didn't know that I was going to put my social worker degree into play.
Oh, definitely. Oh, I love it. Don't get me wrong. We love it. I actually, last Friday, I met some really cool people. One of the really cool things about our job is, you know, sometimes we run into some really awesome people, and then all of a sudden we run into awesome neighbors too. It's a pretty cool situation. Then you get to learn things. You get to know all these things. One of the camps I was showing on Friday, it used to be actually a boys camp back in the day, in like the 20s. Yep. And then in the 50s or 60s, she was telling me that it turned into a honeymooning campground. I don't know if you remember those becoming big, the getaway, the honeymoon hotel things. I can't remember what you would call them, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, it was pretty much for honeymooning.
Interesting.
I guess it's like beaches. Yeah, is it beaches or sandals? That's for just couples.
Oh, I think it's
yeah. It was kind of like that, only on a main lake.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, it really is interesting picking up on some of the history of various buildings that that you wind up going through. Also, things about certain towns that that you're in, communities that you're in that you may not have realized. So yeah, man. So maybe I put in one additional plug here, then, Zach. I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary of being a real estate agent. I'm real proud to say that that's coming up. I'm real happy I made this career choice. And I just want to throw it out there. If you've been thinking about possibly getting into real estate, if you've possibly been thinking about a career change, look into real estate. Like we often say about talking about homes, give us a call. Let's talk, because we're always looking for good agents that want to be part of their community and make it a difference in where we live. And that person might be you. Okay. And if you're listening to this and you think it might be, like I said, give us a call. Let's talk, because I'll tell you, I wished I'd have done this years ago, Zach. And I think you would agree. It's probably one of the best careers.
I think you would have flourished early on. You're flourishing now, so yeah. You're doing great, and you beat the odds.
Just from a road rookie, if you're thinking about it, guys, give us a call. Get in, because I'll tell you, it's a great industry.
And it's funny, in one of the highest turnover industries, you made it.
Yeah, well, again, it's a difficult job, but it's not hard. Or it's a hard job, but it's not difficult. I mean, I don't know how you want to put that, but it's challenging. It's challenging.
No, it is.
What about it?
And the biggest thing, I think, that the thing that makes it easier is just making sure you keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with everybody and anybody, and everybody has their own point of view. And sometimes you just got to bite your tongue and let them have their point of view, because it's just not going to change.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, if you're looking to get in real estate, just like Bob said, we'd love to talk to you about it. It's an amazing journey, and going on 15 years myself. Growing up, I wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be an archeologist.
You still want to be a wrestler? Come on.
Oh, come on! Every Monday I dream, and yes, last night. Come on.
Where's his belt?
Not in this room. It's somewhere. But no, like I said, I never ever thought about I've never thought I was going to be a salesperson. No, it came again. I probably told everybody this 100 times now, but I literally got into real estate just by trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I saw a help wanted ad and tried it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the help wanted ad that Zach saw, just in video form. If you've ever thought about it, give us a call, because we'd love to go ahead and talk with you. and see if this might be a great fit for you.
Yep.
I know it has been for me, and I think Zach would say it's been a good fit for him as well.
No, for
Might
sure.
be
And
that great fit that you're looking for as well. So,
and not to throw Pine Point in there, but Pine Point, we've set it up so basically it's here to give you success. We try to make it so you don't have to come in and work so hard to get going. We give leads with our splits. We have CRM for you with the split. Everything's included in the split. You literally just come in and talk to people.
yeah, basically, the company's set up with the tools that you need to help you be successful, and I think leadership is in that same position too.
Yep.
They're there to help you be successful. So, so I don't know, Zach. Yeah. Other than giving us a call, I think it's time to say goodbye.
I think it is time. Until next week. Remember,
Till
talk
next
is
time,
free.
guys. Expect an amazing day. And like Zach just said, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. All right. Take care now.